Hey guys, we're gonna be talking about if you should get the Nintendo Switch in 2021. Should you? Should you not? Let's get into it. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to get on when it comes to Nintendo Switch that I think is the absolute best thing about the Nintendo Switch has to be its portability. The lightweight of the Switch just makes it so easy to carry around. So when you're on a plane and you're on a trip, you want to take the Switch for a go and you just want to, get going with the Switch because that's what it's pretty much made for. It's a console to take on the go, and the lightweightness of the Switch just makes it so easy to carry and wherever you have to go, on a train, a plane, like I said, in a car. You're waiting for a kid in school, your child, you can just play the game. It's just the lightweight of the Switch makes it so good to the point where it's really unrivaled by anything else. So if you have a Switch and you love handheld gaming, right there is for you. Another thing about it is the ability to pick up the kickstand. Kicking up the kickstand and just hopping on and be able to play the game with friends, that is obviously the best thing about the Switch. You're able to pull off the Joy-Cons and hook them up with two of the other friends. One person can have one Joy-Con, the other person can have the other. It's instantly two controllers in one. And the portability of the Switch really comes in handy when you have the Joy-Cons in effect in the kickstand, because right there the portability factor is just insane, because not only you have to sit down, because usually when you're playing a console you have to sit down with one person. Now you got two people and that's the way. Bad thing about portability is it will have to be the screen resolution. When I'm playing a game like Witcher 3, the screen resolution is okay. I honestly don't like the 720p screen. Some people can handle it. I just really not a fan of the 720p screen, and that's just my take on it and how I feel. But if you don't mind a 720p resolution, then 100% the handheld gaming is for you. Like I said, I can handle it on a lot of Nintendo's first party games, but third party games, they just don't really handle the resolution of the screen correctly, and I just don't really like it. And the main reason I have a Switch is for on the go, because I have a PC and I have a console, and I like to play Nintendo games on the go, so that's a real big reason of why I got a Switch. So I really need that resolution to be better. But and also jumping from games, when it comes to the games, I think the first party games on a Switch are great. The Mario games, that genre of games, all the first party games on the Switch are really good in my opinion. These Splatoons of the world, I enjoy them a lot. Zeldas, I do enjoy them, but the thing that's lacking, and that's a good thing about the Switch, put that in the pros list, but a con about the Nintendo Switch I have is third-party support. It really rarely gets third-party games, and the third-party games, when they are there, they're not hitting. They're not that good. They're not really doing it for me. Like I said, I like to play it on the go, and the resolution just really throws me off, and I don't think third-party games are handled well and ported well on the Switch. It's very rare that a third-party game is handled well on the Switch, and that's just my take and how I feel about it. When it comes to the power of the Switch, that's a whole thing that we already discussed, but we gotta jump into it as a topic. The power of the Switch, when it comes to just gaming on a TV, if you're an average person playing the Switch on a TV, 1080p resolution, good for you. You don't mind it, you can play in it. It doesn't matter. So 1080p, it's fine. When it comes to on the go, like I said, the 720p, the power of that, it just really doesn't sit well with me. Don't quote me, but I'm not too sure if any games run 60 frames on the Switch. I'm pretty sure they do, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, I would love to see 60 frames on the go with a Switch. I know it's not really far-fetched now. Back then, it was a little far-fetched, but now we're 2021. We have 4K gaming. I don't think it's that much of a far-fetched to be able to get 60 frames at 1080p handheld. I don't think it's that far of a fetch. You guys tell me. I'm not too keen on the handheld gaming scene, like as in terms of like building one, because I know I have seen PC builds of like Switches, like a PC, handheld PC, and they actually run 1080p 60 frames on the go. But like I said, I'm not asking for 4K on the go. I'm asking for 1080p 60 frames. But what I am asking for is at least 4K on the TV. So like an upscale 4K. It doesn't have to be true 4K. We just need something, because we want to see Mario in 4K, guys, don't we? We want to see that. Another big point about the Switch is the price point, man. The PlayStation 5, $500. Xbox Series X, $500. The lower versions, $400, and what's the 350, 300, I believe? No, like 350, something like that, 300. Dude, the Switch for $300 is such a steal. Like, it's such a steal. Like, it's a good console. $300, it's literally a steal. Like, $300 for the Switch on the go, 2 controllers off immediately when you get it, and you can take it on the go, and it's a beautiful looking piece of hardware. Man, that's a steal right there, guys. That's a steal. And then one topic I want to put directly by itself would have to be the indie games. I think the indie games on the Switch marketplace are so good, and they just, guys, if you have a Switch, you have to hit up these indie games. If you don't have a Switch and you enjoy indie games, you'll enjoy the Switch so much. I enjoy exploring every single indie game because not only do they not cost a lot, but they have so much playability, and a lot of people would get a love of them. Like, if you love a story, if you love art, these indie games are so good. And I'll try to pop up some indie games on the screen that are really great. And I'm telling you guys, indie games on the Switch are a freaking fun time, and I'm pretty sure all you guys will love playing. Overall, my grade on the Switch would be a B+. Portability factor, beautiful. 8 out of 10. Just wish the resolution was a little better, but for its time, I still won't give it 8 out of 10. You know, it's 720p. I'm just not really liking it. Console aspects, I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. 1080p, beautiful, clean. You really can't beat that. You really can't beat it. I mean, obviously, it's not powerful enough to run 4K. But for 1080p and for, Nintendo games, which are loved, I think that's a pretty good deal. Games, I'm gonna have to give a 7 out of 10. First party games, a 10 out of 10. Beautiful first party games. They run so good. They use the haptic Joy-Cons, great. It's just everything about first party games are great. Third party games are freaking zero. I just can't get behind third party games on the Switch. I don't know what's wrong with them. I just can't get behind them. And there's not enough support for them. We want to get the newer third-party games. We need a powerful Switch. And that comes to power. Power, I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10. We need a refresh. We need the Switch Pro. We need something, guys. Because we need something. And then price point, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I think $300 is really good for a Switch. And you get the Switch Lite for $200, but I would rather spend the extra $100 for the Switch. But that's all, guys, for today's video. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and hopefully we get a Switch Pro soon. Like I said, my overall grade on the Switch is a B+. I 100% think if you don't have a Switch and you love Nintendo games and you love indie games and you have a family and you like playing on the go, I 100% think you should pick that up, because I picked up a Switch purely for Pokemon, and I've been enjoying all the other games. I've been loving Animal Crossing. And I think a Switch is just a really good pickup. It's I don't think it's too late. I don't think the Pro's coming that soon. Even if the Pro comes, you can just hand your Switch down to a family member, or put it towards the Pro. But handing down to a family member would be a really good thing to do, and then pick up your Pro. But $30, guys. I think it's a steal on the Switch. Make sure you like and subscribe. Links below for joining and following me on different social media platforms. And love you guys. See you guys in the next one. Peace.